So in this case, I will be explaining the square, the binomial square in these two examples. So in the first one, we start with the formula that is this one. So we go like A, and this one is A, and this one is B. It also goes for this. It also goes the same as this. So we start. It's A squared, so it will be 25x squared plus A multiplied by B for minus 40 multiplied by 2 minus 80. And B squared, it will be 64 positive. And for this one it will be 80x. And then we go to this one, that is will be, we start with this one. So we could go into different ways, like we doing two different parts, that it goes like we put the 5 over here and then the results over here without multiplying, or doing it mentally and eliminating this one. I will do it mentally. So it will be the a squared will be 16x squared, and multiplied by 5 will be multiplied by 5 will be it will be 80. Yes, 80 x squared. And then AB 40x yes, multiplied by 5 and 200x plus 200x, no, negative, sorry. Then and for this one it's also negative. 10 squared will be 50. No, wait, what? No, sorry. 10 for 10 will be 100, and multiplied by 5 will be 500. So now we are going to synthesize this one, like you can call it synthesize, yes? Okay, so we put 25x squared, then less 80x squared, less 80x less 200x plus 64 less, so it will be 25 minus minus 80. So let me do this in the calculator. It will be 55 x squared minus 80 plus minus 80 minus 200, so it will be minus 80x, and 64 minus, it will be less 4036. And this goes for the first example. So regarding I made a mistake in here. It was in this step I omitted multiply by 2, and it will go 400, and so the answer will be 480x. Now the next example will be starting this one, so it will be 64x squared, and then this one multiplied by this one, it will be less 80x, but multiplied by 2, yeah. and then this one squared, it will be 100. Next one, it will be squared will be 9x, but multiplied by 3 will be 27 less 27x squared. Yeah, then it will be 33x, of course, but multiplied by 2 will be 66 multiplied by 3, because this one, it will be less 98x. Yeah, and then 11 squared, it will be plus 121, but over 3 it will be less 36. Okay, so regarding 36 square says 60 minus x plus 100 plus 36. It will be 64 less 27, 37 x squared, and less 358x less 263. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so this will be the answer, and that's basically the binomial square.
So I'm going to talk about the binomial cube. First of all, I'm talking about the positive operation, not the negative one. That's another part. But I'm going to begin with the all positive signs. So this binomial cube operation or formula is very useful for mathematics, because instead of making a very long procedure, so if we do like the longer part, it will be like this: 8 times 8, 8 times 2, 8 times 8 again, 8 times 2, 8 times, no, then we will begin with 2 times 8, 2 times 2, and we will complicate a little. And so to make it more easier and more faster, we did this formula. So we will use for an example 8 as A and 2 as B. So as the formula says, the first part is to the number 8 multiplies by itself 3 times. So it will be 8 times 8 times 8, or 8 cubed, and it will give us 512. So in this part it's a little confusing and difficult, and you have to do it like this form. So it will begin with the 8. Well, this I will explain later. So in this part is like the first one, but the only difference is that in here 8 has the number 2 above him, and here the number 2 has the number 2 of square. And then the last time is pretty easier. It's like the first one, but instead of 8 we will use 2, because it's letter B. So 2 times 2 times 2 will give us 8. So the next part, I'm sorry, I forgot to press the recording button on my phone, so I couldn't explain specifically the process, but I will try to explain right now how it is. So there is like two ways to resolve the negative sine cube problem. So the first one is about if the b term had the negative sign, and the second one is about if a had the negative sign. What I did here was exactly the same as here before, but I put the negative signs with each number that it belongs to. What I had was 216 on this part, on the first one, and also 116. Sorry for that little drawing here, but I got this, and this on the first one, so you could understand that the result is not the same in both in these ways. And what I explained here was that what happens if, how do you do this? For example, it will be like this: minus a plus minus a plus minus a is minus a cubed, or a times a with the minus and the three a's between parentheses. This will become this. What I explained it before was that both are okay, because if you see more closely, you would notice that this times this, it will be a squared plus, times a minus a, it will give us minus a cubed, and the same is like this. If we multiply all the numbers inside the parentheses, it will give us a cubed, and if we multiply it by this sign, it will give us minus a 3. So that is what I was trying to explain, and yeah, that's all.
Thanks for watching.